Hi, I'm Rob, and in this video, we'll show you how to replace the motor and the receiver on a Duette PowerView top-down shade, a standard shade, a Duette with dual light, and a Duette top-down bottom shade with PowerView. To conduct this repair, we'll need a motor, a receiver board, a power cable, and the receiver cable for the PowerView system. Take that receiver end cap and just rock it off. Come up under the body of the plug, gently rock it out with the screwdriver on the body of the plug. Come down to the power plug here and do the same thing. But once I get it loosened up there, it pops right out. And I'm not going to reuse this in any way. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it from the receiver board here, and again I recommend using the body of the plug. Unscrew these screws here that hold the receiver in place and remove them out of there. Take my flathead screwdriver into these 4 posts located here around the receiver retainer here and just gently rock up on it. Coming up underneath it, a little stick and twist there. I'm going to reuse this end cap. I want to make sure the button and what we call the light pipe, the clear component located here, and keep that in place. Come up and lift on the receiver and it lifts out very easily. This light pipe, which takes the color, the green and red, to the front of the end cap, I don't want to move that around in any way. I don't want to have to return it into position. So I'm going to hold it in like this and let gravity hold that into place for me. Bring in my replacement board, put it into place. The button goes to the interior or away from me in this application. I've got my plug located to the outside so I can plug it in. And at this point, it's seated completely around the outside of those posts. Just make sure that button works. Awesome. Bring in the retainer for the receiver and pop it into place. The 2 legs here on the end go out to the front, and I'm just going to evenly and gently push it into place around the outside. And if I'm going to push on this retainer in any way, push to the outside so we don't damage the receiver in any way. Take the same screws we used, or new ones, we're going to put them in some hemostats. This is the easiest way to insert the screw. There's a lot of interference here between the screw and the housing. Take the second screw, get it into place, and now I can go ahead and tighten those screws down. Take a look at the motor. We've got a wire, a communication wire, going to the second motor in our top-down, bottom-up shade. On a standard bottom-up shade or a standard top-down shade, there would only be one motor. Bring in another motor here to replace it with. On the bottom of the motor, there's these pins located here that actually poke into the slat in the top of the shade. Bring in a screwdriver, go ahead and pop up that motor out of the slat. Take the motor and rock it up and out. Now I don't want to pull the motor too far because I have the wire here that I got to remove the connector on. Hold on to the drive shaft because the drive shaft could pull all of the other components in the shade. Rock the motor up, slide it out just a hair, and remove the clip here that retains the plug in place. Remove the plug and set that motor aside. Bring the new motor into play here, and we're going to just do everything in reverse. Plug the communication wire into place, put the clip around the outside, reinsert that motor into the drive shaft first, rocking it into place. Make sure the notch here lines up with the V groove on my drive shaft. Put that motor onto the shaft, drop those pins back into the slat, and I like to hear that positive slat snap. Slide the head rail back over now and insert that power wire, making sure the pins line up with the holes on the plug, and gently press it in with the body of the plug. Plug the receiver wire in, lining up the pins. Push it in with the flathead screwdriver on the body of the plug. Plug the receiver into the shade. We want to make sure the power wire is coming around the back side of the end cap here. There's this area here that's open for that wire to fit into place. On the end of the shade, you can see where the top of the head rail has a plastic rubber seal at the top of the shade. Make sure the features of this plastic flexible seal here are in place between the features here and here on the end cap. Slide the head rail over, matching up the features of the end cap here into the top of the head rail. Ensure that the button is working and I'm ready to go up and hang the shade and test it out. And I just showed you how to repair the receiver eye and motor on a PowerView Duette shade.